Okay, so first you're going to go to your circuits and you're going to open up activity 1.2.4 that we did a couple weeks ago. And we only want to focus on the 4-bit binary counter on the bottom. So we can just go ahead and if you want to, you can just either disconnect them or just ignore the other two circuits. So we're just going to focus on the bottom. We're going to change the circuit and we're going to add the 555 timer to be the input instead of this clock voltage right here. So we're going to click on the clock voltage and delete it. And we're going to click on this probe, delete it, and delete the ground. So now we're just going to build the circuit as a 555 timer that we did in the lab previously in 1.2.5. So I'm going to start with analog and go down to timers and open up the first option, LM555CN. Place that on the workspace. Let's see, I need it to be, so you want this output to line up with clock. And then I'm going to add the voltage to the top. So I'm going to go to sources, DC voltage, click up there. And then I need to go to schematic connector, ground that voltage source, and then connect it to the top of my 555 timer. You might want to adjust. This does kind of need to be to the left and out of the way so we have room over here to work. Now I'm going to go to passive and click on resistor. I'm going to rotate this resistor and make the value. So if you don't have the side pane open, you're going to double click. Change the resistance to 330 ohms. And the name of the resistor is RA. This one should be placed about up here. Copy it, and then you can paste it and rename the second one RB. And then we're going to go to passive capacitor, and I'm going to place a capacitor down here, rotate it. We're going to change it to 0.01 microfarads. So on multisim, you can click the letter U as in umbrella, and it will type it as a micro. And then we're going to copy that, paste it so it's in line with the resistors, and we're going to change this capacitor's value to 22, and I'm going to click U as an umbrella to make micro and hit enter. I want them to be lined up. And now I think all we need to do is we can go up here, copy the ground, place it on the bottom, and set up the circuit. So resistor A will connect here. And I'm just going to go ahead and make the same circuit we did in 1.2.5. Before you get started, you just want to zoom out and verify that your top resistor is 330 ohms, RB is 330, C2 is on the left, 22 microfarads, C1 is on the right, 0.01 microfarads. You have your voltage source on the top, make sure all the wires are set up correctly. And then you're going to go ahead and on the right-hand side, under maximum, so under interactive maximum time step, make sure that manual time step is not checked. So you're going to uncheck it. And then you can zoom in to the A, B, C, and D probes, and we're going to press run simulation. And we're just going to look at the pace of the counter. So now the 555 timer is feeding into the 4-bit counter in order to power it. So you can see it counting from 0 to 15 in binary, but it's not the perfect pace. If you look at the grapher, you can see how A, B, and C are changing. You can see what the period of, I'm going to look at the period of D. So the period is about 33, or sorry, the frequency is about 33 hertz. Time low is about 65. Okay, so the duty cycle is about 50%. That's good. And it depends on your computer and your internet connection, but basically you want to go and switch RA, RB, and the capacitor values. So you're going to experiment and change these values until you get the perfect pace for you to read the counter. So let's say this was not moving at the pace I wanted. I can change RA. I'm just going to play around, click on RA. Let's change it to 1.2 kiloohms. Press play, and let's see what happens. So I think that might have slowed it down, but I'm not sure. So if this is a good pace for you, you just want to be able to clearly, I think it did slow it down, but for me, it works better. I can very clearly see it counting from 0 to 15, but it's not going at too quick of a pace that I can't actually see the numbers changing. So you might want to stop there. If not, you can mess with RA and RB, as well as the capacitor too, according to the values in the worksheet. So the worksheet says to use 1.2 kiloohms, 470, and 330 ohms. And then for capacitors, you want to use 47, 10, and 0.01. Try all of them. Try a few different combinations. Find what works best for you. And then when you find the perfect combination, you're going to put those values down here in the red box. Take a screenshot of the 555 timer connected to the 4-bit counter with your choices for RA, RB, and C2. And that is it. So this is a minor grade, and it will be due Friday, December 18th at 11:59 p.m. And that's it.